Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 39 of the Hall of Gamers podcast. This week, I am joined, as always, by the technical wizard himself, Cameron.
Hey.
And the wonderfully made up Charlotte.
Hello, I'm fake.
Yes, exactly.
Made up? Like,
no.
Like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, no, like she's
I'm a figment of your imagination. I don't exist.
Man, my imagination, fucking, I need to see a therapist.
Yeah, we must have some.
I was gonna say, Jesus Christ, I got a
that.
serious case of gamer brain.
I like that we both somehow had the exact same idea that this imaginary person can solve Rubik's cubes. Like,
it's great. It's I think that's what they call it, morphic resonance, where you have like sheep on one side of the world learn how to roll over grates, and your sheep on the other side of the world know how to do it, even though they've never communicated it, and they just learned it at the same time. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. No, that's fine. No, don't worry about it. Someone out there probably does, but not in our audience. So this week we're going to talk a bit about next-gen consoles, apparently. I feel like I just fucking got mine. There's going to be a big merger up until the next big merger. And then there's some news about Battlefield, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose we should probably just get into Song of the Week, which Charlotte has wonderfully done for us this week.
Playing from the top.
Nobody's on a course to save the world. Which character will I play? So many skins that I want to wear. You know I like the ones that swim in water. I just gotta be the slug tonight. I don't want to fight this boss again. I want to play this game with Mad Mike. Nobody saves the world by themselves. You know I want to be the mermaid too. As long as you play as a bodybuilder, I just gotta beat this dungeon tonight. I don't want to fight this monster again.
What genre is that?
80s pop?
You mean genre?
Yeah, because
It's
I know it, but I don't know it. Like it's
you've definitely heard it.
You would have heard it.
I'm feeling as if it's something like off one of the earlier Tony Hawk soundtracks. Or something like that.
It's not like I think that's a little more guitar. Like this is a bit more soft rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 1985.
Okay, yeah, I mean that fits. Yeah, it's definitely an 80s song. Yeah.
It has been on some movies and TV shows. If anyone is friends with Kruger on Twitter, in the past week he shared a video that used this song, and that was my inspiration for then stealing it and doing it for Song of the Week.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kruger.
Allison in the chat has put Freebird. Unfortunately, no, it is not Freebird. But
that is incorrect.
But to be fair, I think she usually just shouts that at most of any musical.
Just in general, does she just shout it at people? Just Freebird?
Oh, sorry, no, it's a request. It's not a guess.
All right, let's all sing Freebird on the count of three.
I think I've already done Freebird for Song of the Week.
Yeah, I've already done it. I think I begged you to do it.
To be fair, Freebird is the most requested song in the world, right? Yeah, it's just because people just start yelling at the concerts. Actually, one of my favorite memories was when I was living in Texas. It was a horrible experience, but there was some good bits in there too. My roommate, her like sister and her like friends were going out to some concert, and obviously not big Leonard Skinner fans, and they were going to some concert, and they were like, people start yelling stuff in the movie, or like people are really loud and singing the songs, and so we just told her, it's like, whenever there's like an interlude or they want to do an encore, just start yelling Freebird, just start yelling it out. And so that I feel like that's my contribution to keeping the really annoying hecklers for yelling Freebird in the next generation, even though they've probably never heard the song before. Isaac missed the song. The morphic resonance stuff is called about convergent evolution is also another name for it.
All right.
So the song is it's the Outfielders.
Yeah, Your Love by the Outfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good song. Not my favorite.
I don't want to lose your love tonight.
I don't want to lose.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah, it's a very good song.
Charlotte did a very good rendition. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I suppose we should crack into the show. If you happen to be watching us live, come say hi. We've got Isaac in the chat. We've got Allison in the chat, which is very nice. tweet. Sorry, I just got distracted by Isaac's message there. It's a good point. Actually, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, so if you want to come watch us live, Hall of Gamers Pod is the place to find us. We do this every week on Fridays and Saturdays. So you can come, tell us the meanings of songs that we sung, or yell Freebird in the chat, post emojis and not gifts because you'll get banned by Nightbot. But yeah, come say hi, ask questions. We really appreciate the support. And with that, I suppose we should get straight into the news. Cameron, what have you found for us this week?
Got a whole bunch of starting off, EA is looking to sell or merge.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, okay. I'm not, it's interesting, but I'm not surprised, I guess.
So have you heard any news about this?
A little bit. There's been some talks about it in terms of like who would be acquiring them, and there's been a lot of speculation around like, is it going to be like a Disney or an Apple, or is like people are like saying it can't be Microsoft because that again is antitrust stuff and they're already acquiring Activision. Sony doesn't really have the capital for it. Yeah, so maybe it's like a Disney or something outside of like games adjacent, as it were.
So like recently they tried to pursue a merger with NBC Universal. And they also had potential acquisition talks with Disney, Apple, and other companies, according to a report by Puck. While a deal currently isn't in the works, it does sound like EA, like they're shopping around. They're planning to do it. Which is interesting too, because this won't be they're not looking for an Embracer level deal where, basically a bigger company picks up a little company kind of deal. This is...
they don't get embraced.
Embraced. This is purely like a partnership kind of acquisition more than anything.
Yeah, so I mean, similar to kind of the larger like Microsoft Activision kind of like where it's like, it's. I mean, EA is a big company, right? And there was also talks about like Ubisoft have always been on the verge of being acquired. Well,
that's what was it, like 4 years ago? They were doing the shares.
Yeah, it was the whole thing with Vivendi, right? And that's what was going off. Yeah, it looked like there was going to be a hostile takeover by Vivendi, and they pulled out the whole like, Viva la Revolution, we're French and we want to keep this whole fucking company.
Which is crazy because like Ubisoft has 20,000 employees, I believe.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, to be fair, Vivendi is also huge, so it's not, not super unusual. But I think that now, like that was 4 years ago, and now there was talks about them being like, actually, getting acquired might be pretty, might be pretty poggers, like, it was like, I don't know.
Seems like a hot thing at the moment.
It really does.
Let's just get acquired.
I mean, let's just make a bunch of money and then, never have to work ever again. And then, retreat to our space bunker.
I feel like COVID kind of like put it in perspective for a lot of these companies. Like shit can just go like hit the fan.
It's kind of both, right? Because the games industry was never as big or as at risk as it was during COVID, because they had so many more eyes on their products and their systems, and their valuations went up, right? They were like, people are playing our games, but like we're seeing record numbers, and those numbers are never going to look that good ever again, barring another pandemic, right? And so now's the time to sell. Like now's the time to cash out, because when people are hungry for content and suddenly the other end of it comes and bites you in the ass and says, hey, we also haven't put out a game in 6 months because all of our development studios are, behind or closed, or, there's kinds of problems or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, shit, let's just, right.
Like Replace this week too, getting knocked back to, I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Not surprised at all.
No, it's like there's been so many delays recently, and and for all kinds of reasons, and it just kind of feels like, well, the fuck are we gonna play?
I know there's there's the smaller indie titles that are just like,
but
even the Quarry today.
Yeah,
the Quarry had the announcement that their multiplayer mode will be knocked back a month, but the single player would still be launching on time. Replace got knocked back to next year, and then there's like smaller titles like is it Redout 2, the racing one? That's got knocked back a month.
Yeah, although to be fair, I think there's some weird stuff going on behind the scenes with that game. But
good game. I played the first one before, and it's quite enjoyable. But getting back to the EA stuff, it's interesting because from an outsider looking in, I feel like this has more to do with IP.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that would probably make sense.
It would be
right?
like a big motivator in this still. Like the fact that they're talking to Disney, and also the fact that their usage of IP for Star Wars isn't getting renewed after 2023.
They have an existing relationship with Disney, is true. Although how good that relationship is, apparently they were relatively happy with the output. I don't think anyone who played the games was, but Disney seemed to not care. So,
well, coming from the article, the news comes that EA has lost or banned some of its biggest existing licensing deals. The publisher recently revealed 3 new Star Wars games currently in production, including Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which it's Respawn. It'll be a hit.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Exclusivity deal with Disney for the Star Wars license isn't going to be renewed when it expires in 2023. That has allowed competitors like Quantum Dream and Ubisoft to announce their own big Star Wars projects. EA has also revealed last week that it's ending its similar 10-year exclusivity deal with FIFA, and beginning in 2023 will rebrand its blockbuster soccer franchise Esports FC. Still can't wrap my head around.
How do you mean in terms of like why?
Like just hearing EA Sports FC as a name rather than the FIFA seems really weird to me, because that's been how many years?
Yeah, it's been a long time, as long as I can remember.
That's been like essentially our whole lives.
Pretty much, yeah. It's always been FIFA for the most part. I mean, obviously, they had more competitors with like PES and other stuff, but like in terms of EA, yeah.
PES doing their game kind of just often.
Fucking Konami, right? What the fuck are they doing? Yeah, I think that like you say IP, and I kind of agree, but outside of Respawn, what the fuck have they got?
Sims is one of the most it's top 10 popular games.
I guess what I grew up playing on PC. So
there was a list this week that had like the top 10 games played in and I feel like a few of them were EA games.
I mean, I think the other thing is, I suppose EA has the graveyard is the other thing, right? Is that they have, if you look at current IP that they're really trying to exploit and put out stuff for, it's like, okay, they've got Fallen Order with Star Wars, they've got the sports titles, they've got Apex, and they've got Sims, and that's kind of it.
As much as you probably want to agree with me, Need for Speed.
So
yeah. I mean, they do own it. Yeah, it's true. It's
Player Pulse US top 10 most played console/PC games, Q1 2022, sorted by initial release year. You have Minecraft, which was released in 2009. Grand Theft Auto 5 2013, Sims 4 2014, Fortnite 2017, Among Us 2018, Animal Crossing New Horizon 2020, because of course COVID and stuff. Then Call of Duty Warzone was 2020. Madden NFL 22 is 2021. Call of Duty Vanguard 2021. NBA 2K22 was 2021.
Yeah, so again, a lot of the sort of standard sports stuff, right? And EA has a couple of those, but
that's
I don't know.
That's just taking like console and PC. We're talking about the mobile market.
The mobile thing is a completely different story.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. It's interesting because it doesn't even like Elden Ring ranked 20th, and like all of that is ahead of Rocket League, World of Warcraft, Skyrim, all of that.
Yeah, and considering that Elden Ring is a relatively niche, hard as nails fucking,
and that was 20th. That's most played game.
Everyone needs to play it.
And then chuck in the mix games like Dead Space getting remastered.
Right, so this is what I was going to say, right? That they do have a lot of IP. They've got Mirror's Edge and they've got all that kind of stuff, and like there's room for that to be acquired and also potentially exploited for other mediums. If say an Amazon or a Disney picks it up, they want to turn things into TV shows or other forms of media or movies or whatever they want to do. Right?
Anything that BioWare's ever touched, like just turn into TV. That's printing money.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like I would watch a Mass Effect TV show. I'd watch Dragon Age TV show, Like I think that like that's probably the best thing that's ever happened, because EA doesn't know. Honestly, EA doesn't really seem to know what the fuck it's doing most of the time. They don't know when they're on. BioWare. Yeah, especially with BioWare. They never know when they're onto a good thing, and they always fuck up when they are. And yeah, like they haven't really been a good, like, I can't think of a good EA release that I've enjoyed outside of Fallen Order recently. And like, I love that game. Like, that game was so fucking good.
But in all honesty, like I've always said, Respawn is like one of my favorite developers. Has Respawn ever made anything bad?
Not really, no. I mean, they've gone from strength to strength with Titanfall. I mean, Titanfall 1, I kind of have, I mean, whatever. But
I mean, Titanfall 1's more about the achievement list, but in terms of a game...
I mean, like, I'm not a big multiplayer guy, so it's just not my kind of game. But Titanfall 2 is fucking absolute perfection. And yeah, I love Fallen Order. I'm sure I'll enjoy the next one as well. I don't really like Apex, but I can't deny that it's hugely successful.
I think in terms of Respawn 2, like the fact that two guys that used to work on were Call of Duty veterans coming together, forming Respawn, and then doing Titanfall as a test.
Yeah.
Like, it was... Titanfall 2 is Titanfall 1, but refined.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's the best version of it, basically. And you know, who knows? Maybe they'll put out Titanfall 3. That's one of the rumors. But
if I get on the bingo card this year, Titanfall 3 and Banjo-Kazooie, I'm gonna lose my... I'm gonna be so happy. I'm gonna be a kid in a candy store.
They'll get delayed till 2025, but that's fine.
It's fine if the existence gets proven. It's fine. It'll happen, and then some natural course of the world will kill me off before I ever.
Oh, you know, you're not gonna play it. No, it'll be a mobile only release. Yes, it'll be like gotcha.
So this is not a This is not... Oh, fuck, what's the game? Diablo. This is not a Diablo situation.
Immortal, yeah, right, yeah. No, I hope not.
Apparently that's doing really well, though. So.
I'm sure it is. It's just a clone of a Chinese game that they bought. But yeah, I guess for my interest, it's like they don't really have a lot in their current catalog that really interests me, and I don't know if that would interest a lot of people, considering that like Respawn is really holding up their business in terms of like actual games. I mean, the sports side of stuff is one thing, but the amount of money they make on that, they also lose a lot of that on licensing, which is again why they're not paying FIFA. And so I think that if they are going to be...
I disagree with that statement only because of Sims, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, but again, Sims is kind of because Sims is also kind of its own thing as well, right? Like, it's not a...
It's a money maker though. Like, how many...
It does. Like, it just continuously gets better and better. And like, even with like the older games, they're still super popular, and you can still buy customized...
Oh yeah.
I mean, on the shops for them.
I agree, but from a critical reception point of view, the fourth game was hugely panned when it came out compared to the third game, because they basically decided that they stripped out most of the features, dumbed it all down, and then resold you all the shit that you'd already bought in the third game.
But we say that, yeah, but I can't think of a single female that I know has not played.
Oh no, you're right. I mean, shit, I played The Sims, for fuck's sake. Like.
But I still agree that The Sims 3 was way better than The Sims 4.
I'll agree with
The Sims 4 when it came out. Like, I don't like The Sims 4. I love Sims 3. It was like the perfect game for me.
Totally
like, I spent like 10 years playing The Sims 4.
Sims 3 Pets on 360 was the best version of the game. Can't change my mind.
So I had Sims 1 and I had the Making Magic expansion. I skipped Sims 2. I'd never had the Sims 2. And then I went straight to the Sims 3 and I ended up buying every single expansion that was possible to buy for that game. So like, I had everything for the Sims 3.
The smart thing to do with Sims 1, I remember, was whenever you bought the expansion packs, you basically could play the game using the expansion pack. So it's like you didn't have to keep the original disc. So what my friend was, you know, a wealthy guy, wealthy introvert who owned most of the Sims games. He lent me all of the discs so I could install them, and then I went and bought Making Magic as the one that I wanted to keep, and then I just used all the other expansions that he gave me.
Yeah.
Man, that was good.
I was sad when my Making Magic disc got like broken. It snapped, and I'm like, no, you're kidding. Like, that sucked.
That takes me back to a time when you could actually walk into a shop like Target and that PC shelf.
Buy a game, yeah. I went into indie games just because I was killing some time the other day. And like, obviously I went to like look at it. So 70% of the store is now tab.
Zing.
Yeah, Zing.
Like pop vinyls.
Yeah, pop vinyls and fucking shirts and shit, right? So again, so it's basically no games. which is, again, that's the PlayStation section anyway.
Yeah.
And so I was looking around. I was like, again, there's a tiny. I'm joking, right? But there's like a couple of rows of games, and I was like, oh look, there's some PC stuff, and there's like keyboards and fucking light up shit and LEDs,
like streaming gear and
yeah, right. And then in a tiny little corner on the bottom shelf was like 5 PC games you could buy on disc, and that was it.
It's Sims, maybe Flight Sim, Age of Empires.
Yeah, I think it was
another
like
RTS. And
there was some
else.
RTS, I think, or something, and then like some sort of FPS or something. It was like, man, that's a sad state, but it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens. I mean, most people seem to be wanting to get acquired. I don't really think it'll change much. Like, again, anyone who buys an EA, I don't think is going to do like a Microsoft and like want to roll them in. I think they're more just being like, hey, we just, we want access to that IP so we can do stuff with it. Basically, I think it's more. The
only request is somebody buy it and remake Burnout 3 Takedown. That's all I want. That's all I want in life.
Yeah. Okay, Uncle Philly, you listen to this. You make it happen for us.
Good old Philly Spence.
Yeah.
I find it so funny because playing Hot Pursuit lately, it was just like Nikita came out in the other day and said like, "Oh, are you playing Burnout?" Like, no, this is like Hot Pursuit. But I don't blame you because half the staff from Criterion worked.
I mean, yeah, it literally says a Criterion game when you fire it up. So yeah, it's like it is essentially from the Burnout Paradise developers. Yeah, man, Criterion just had some really fucking great games. All right, what else you got, Cameron?
I was going to quickly just touch base and say that with the change, this is a very quick news story, but with the change from FIFA to EA or FC, whatever it's called, 200 staff lost their jobs. Well, I'm running the shows like on 50 million.
Of course, that's capitalism, right? I mean, I can't say I'm surprised that, but they just didn't want to pay FIFA that billions of dollars or whatever it was. But I think we talked about it a few weeks back around like the amount that they actually give to FIFA just to use the name, and it's just clearly just not worth it.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'll be interested to see if this is one that still sells. I'm sure it will, but will it do as well as the previous ones? I'm sure that they've got plenty of financial analysts who say it will.
Keeping on with the EA news, Battlefield 2042, the immensely popular multiplayer.
Oh, the popular to shit on game, yes.
Yeah, that's. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I must have mixed up my notes. Their breakthrough multiplayer mode is getting reduced player count from 128 to 60. Who could have seen this coming?
Yeah, it's man, that game fucking went like the Hindenburg, didn't it? Holy shit, did it? Like, I remember when they announced it and they had that amazing trailer with what was it, Kickstart My Heart? Fucking in the back, like cover of that was fucking awesome. The guy jumps out of the jet and blows someone up with a rocket launcher and gets back in it. And I was like, okay, this could be really cool. And they're like, yeah, 6 maps, no campaign.
Like, I mean, I bought a copy for $9, so I'm gonna try it out and see how I go. Yeah.
I can't say I'm surprised. To be fair, this is only one of the modes. There are still having the modes with this, with over 100 people in it still. So it's not like they're admitting that they have no players, but
it's detailed in the
yeah.
It's detailed in the patch notes. The all-out warfare playlist been updated with new setups. This includes the multiplayer mode breakthrough. Has had a 128 player count option removed on Xbox Series X, PS5, and PC. Reasoning for this is due to publisher EA reviewing the all-out warfare experiences, finding that 128 player modes are better suited for Conquest, where gameplay spaces are larger, where you have a more natural fit for sandbox gameplay.
Yeah, which means that no one's playing the other mode because everyone plays Conquest anyway. And their big thing in the trailer was there was heaps of people in tight and close spaces shooting the shit out of each other, and it was ridiculous.
It's the exact same with Battlefield 5 with the Battle Royale mode added in too late.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, that game had problems and like didn't do well, and they tried to patch as much as possible, right? But this is like another level. This is another level. Trash.
I actually enjoyed Battlefield 5. I thought the stories were pretty cool. The multiplayer modes is what you make of it kind of thing. I don't think you're ever going to get such a, I don't want to say polished experience, but good experiences like 4 and 3.
Yeah. Those days are all gone, unfortunately. And it's a different DICE. It's a different EA.
Which is, it's disappointing because in terms of like multiplayer games coming in, from EA, like Respawn's and Titanfall's the only thing I actually care to play. Well, and I guess Apex by
Yeah, by proxy, right? But that's kind of what I was getting at, right? Is that like even in the single player space, what are they putting out? Like it's like Fallen Order, also a Respawn game. It's like
get Respawn working on everything.
Apparently, they're the only ones fucking keeping the lights on. Oh well.
Yeah, not really much else to say with that one. Bits and through it. How hurt were you when you found out about the Spider-Man news?
I'm actually okay. I'm a little bit hurt, but also I'm not hugely surprised.
Yeah. So John Matrick proving 8-9 years later that he can still do more harm to the Xbox One generation.
Holy shit. Yeah.
All right, so anybody that isn't aware, the head of Marvel Games recently revealed how Xbox turned down the opportunity to make licensed games shortly before Sony made a deal to make Spider-Man on PS4 exclusive. An excerpt from Stephen L. Kent's 2021 book, The Ultimate History of Video Games Volume 2, quoted on Reset Era, Executive Vice President and Head of Marvel Games Jay Ong explains how the company cut its earlier deal with Activision short in search of a better partnership. Now, even that in itself was funny. So, essentially, according to Ong, Marvel Games wasn't happy with the quality of the Spider-Man games being published by Activision. Essentially, like Treyarch was the only one that could produce a decent Spider-Man game.
Yeah, what? Because did they do Amazing Spider-Man? Is that?
No, Amazing Spider-Man still had bugs on that at launch. I feel like they did Spider-Man 3.
Yes, they did do Spider-Man 3. Yeah,
was...
no, you're 100% right. Yeah.
Because
again, there were heaps of Spider-Man games that came out on that 360 generation, right? I mean, shit, you've been looking for them for ages.
Shared Dimensions, Friend of Foes was pretty bad.
Yeah.
What else? You got Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Web of Shadows and
Fate.
No, it was the Time one. The Shattered Dimension sequel. That was just the two things. Edge of Time or something? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
They
were fine games, to be honest.
Like I've tried picking them up. Like I've got the Amazing Spider-Man 2 on Xbox One because that's the only Spider-Man game that has touched Xbox during that generation, and that's a pretty good game.
It's decent. Yeah.
Like, and that most Spider-Man games are that to me, like just pretty decent. Haven't played anything to the quality of Insomniac game.
Well, that's what I was going to say, right? The Insomniac thing was essentially like, well, let's give it the Batman Arkham Asylum treatment, right? And just really punch it up and make it fucking incredible and put a lot of money and time and effort into it. And Insomniac are great developers. Like like you said, right? Like how disappointed was I? Like I'm disappointed to learn that we won't get to play whatever game that was, but I'm also thinking about where Microsoft was as a brand and Xbox was as a brand at that time and who would have developed that game. I don't think it would have turned out nearly as well as it did.
Yeah,
to be honest.
You need a developer like Insomniac. The only developer that I could think of managing something like this would be the Call. Different wheelhouse of like games they're used to, but only studio I can think that has enough, talent to tackle something like.
Yeah, and even then. Like you're talking like old Coalition as well, so it would have been past after Judgment, but before, well, probably during Gears of War 4, right?
Yeah, it depends on who the other point. Like I still like Gears of War 4 and 5 as games. I still think.
People do like those games. This is fair. Again, it's more just an achievement list thing for me.
Yeah.
And they don't respect my time.
100%. But yeah, the funny thing from the story, so Ong went, what was it? So according to Ong, Marvel Games weren't happy with the quality, but two companies mutually agreed to terminate their licensing deal early. Ong said that when the deal was made to walk away, Activision asked, what are you going to do with this IP after you get it back? To which Ong replied, I'm going to find a better home for it. According to Ong, Activision's reply was, good luck finding your unicorn. Which is like,
to be fair, if Activision had kept that shit up and they'd actually held on to it, Microsoft would get to make one.
Yeah.
If you think about it, which is funny.
And now, like, that's the only thing like I'm really gutted with Sony with. They're bringing these really strong superhero games out on PlayStation. Like Wolverine's going to come out, Spider-Man 2. And I'm like, that's the only thing other than God of War and anything that Insomniac might otherwise touch. I'm interested.
I mean, they still have a lot of big studios. I mean, now they going to own Bungie, right? So there's that with Destiny. Although obviously they'll still be multiplayer.
It depends. It depends what they do with, but depends
sure,
what they do.
But I'm more thinking about whatever Bungie do next is kind of more what I'm thinking, right? Is kind of whatever side project that they work on that, whether it's Destiny 3 or another marathon game or fucking they call. I don't know. Again, if they ever do anything else other than Destiny, which I assume they will at some stage.
Just to quickly fit it in, there was some context given this week too as to why Bungie would. It's essentially, as we would imagined, they were using it to, have that talent to understand how to launch massive multiplayer games.
Because we talked about that the other week, right? Where they were like, we want to have 10 live service games out in the next 5 years or whatever the ridiculous thing was. And it's
fits in with everything. So.
Bungie are the ones who are the only ones, it seems, who really, really know how to do it. Outside of what Ubisoft did with Rainbow Six Siege, and even then, I feel like they
even
lucked
then,
into that.
Like at launch, that was something that they eventually just got built in over time.
Yeah.
Good thing about Rainbow Six Siege is it was such a fun enough model at the very start that, like we've talked to Shane about it before, he was seeing people like when he was doing the marketing stuff for Ubisoft. He was seeing people playing this same map over again and really enjoying it. It was more so about the gameplay than it was about the
they were lucky that they had a really, really good game that could retain people.
Anyway, yeah, so going back to the story, Microsoft's strategy on recalls was to focus on its own IP, and as such, it decided to pass on the offer. Fuck you, Magic. I mean, I understand the focus on it during the Xbox One generation because it was TV. Oh, they wanted to get those IP. Like,
yeah,
you think like how Quantum Break is as a game. Think of the live service stuff they want.
Yeah, Don Matthew just said to them, "Hey, yeah, if we do have a console for people who want to play Spider-Man. It's called the PS4."
Oh my god!
I still cannot believe he was like, "Yeah, we have consoles for people who want to, own their games. It's called the 360." Like, are you fucking serious? And then he went on to fucking work at Zynga, who are now merging with Take-Two in what is to be the most expensive merger of all time until the Activision Microsoft thing gets sorted. Don't know how that's going to fucking work, but whatever. I'm sure that Zynga still makes money hand over fist, I'm sure.
So I guess outside of the story, if we were to see a superhero game come out on Xbox anytime, I want to see.
I want a Thor game.
I played a Thor game on the 360. It was okay.
I own a Thor game on the 360. I don't think I've ever played it.
Yeah, that was the thing you were saying, right, Cameron? You were like, man, every time I pick up some shitty licensed game and I look and see you played it, Neomaster is always on the top of the list.
Yeah.
Like,
But imagine if like Thor Love and Thunder comes out.
Yeah, and they do like a cool tie-in.
That would be cool.
Well, you just want to see Chris Hemsworth's dick in fucking CG, don't you? That's
the amount of people lately.
You don't even get to see it on screen, so
not yet. They're not going to give it away in the trailer. Come on, they want to get people.
I don't think they'll even give it away in the movie.
If I wanted to see a half-naked Chris Hemsworth, I'd go down. I'd go up to Bondi. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I saw him show up on a news channel and read the weather at some stage.
I mean, there's plenty of like other Hemsworth as well. I'm sure you could. Anyway,
there's a whole multiverse of them. Apparently.
There's a whole multiverse.
There is a whole multiverse.
Speaking of multiverse, Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
because like it got rumored not too long ago.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think just something with magic would be really.
I mean, I think it's something that we haven't really seen a lot of in terms of. Like most of the superhero stuff we've seen has been pretty grounded for the most part, right? Like it's been Batman, who is like as close to the most grounded superhero there is.
Hear me out, yeah? Give me Spider-Man game, like a Spider-Man level sandbox, Doctor Strange, with like the ability to like float and all that, like that kind of.
I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean. I remember there was that old concept for the Flash game that there was like a prototype that got leaked out or something. I mean, obviously it looked like shit because it never got finished. Yeah. But it was an interesting idea because I mean, the Flash is the best superhero. So
Yeah.
You know,
Wait,
you know my thoughts on DC.
I mean, look, I have no love for DC whatsoever, but the Flash is still the best superhero. Barry Allen can do no wrong, except when he puts his dick in the timeline.
You will.
Which is most of the time, to be fair.
Why can't we just have Batman? Like Batman DC games are fine. Like I'm all good with
Yeah,
that.
but we've already got Batman.
We've got so many of them. I mean,
We've got Batman. Batman's been done.
Yeah, we need
Just give me a Harlequin game.
Yeah.
Harlequin and Poison Ivy, mix the two. Just give me that.
I'm pretty sure I played that game. Well, it was a Flash game, but yeah.
Oh god.
Anyway,
anyway,
moving on.
Yeah, moving on from that conversation.
The photos are not safe for work memes.
I feel like anything that would explore that level of depth, like Spider-Man does, like how how big New York is compared to Spider-Man. Just give me an open sandbox like that where I mean,
I'm just kind of thinking back to like Prototype. You remember when Activision put that out, and like that was kind of like it was like that, and they were going up against Infamous on the Xbox.
Give me a Prototype level game.
Yeah, like look, Prototype 3. I mean, again,
that would be amazing.
That would be cool. Like again, this will Activision game. It's kind of another one in their graveyard that they could pull up.
It's got IP. Like 2 was a really good game in my opinion.
Yeah, I really enjoyed 2. I mean, I know that like it didn't sell super well, and there were problems with it, and kind of it's not the most polished of games. But I think there's still legs there.
Do you remember the marketing for 1?
Vaguely,
like the live action trailers and that they were doing.
Yeah,
they looked amazing. Like that's what got me sold on Prototype pretty early on. I want something like that again. I want Xbox to have a really well constructed open sandbox game where like I'm not limited to like ground combat.
Well, yeah, that's going to be tough.
But yeah,
man, I just want a visual novel for The Question, and it's fucking basically just Ace Attorney, but just with superhero.
Oh
shit.
my god,
I would be super about it. I love The Question. He's such a weird fucking superhero.
Talking about lore, just give me a fucking Daredevil game.
Actually, like kind of the like street level kind of Heroes for Hire would make sense.
Yeah, Heroes for Hire, Defenders.
Defenders could be good. I mean, we're basically just describing Activision's Ultimate Alliance, like Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. Basically, it's just hey, all these heroes, just get them and beat shit up. And it's like, actually, yeah, like I could go for. They put out a third one on the Switch. It was an exclusive. Apparently, it was not bad, but I don't know. Yeah, I like superhero stuff for the most part. Like I'm not super invested. Like I don't get super nerdy about it, but like I go and see all the movies and stuff, and I like talking about it just because it's interesting.
I think the movies are just on a completely different league though. Like if we get a level of Insomniac Spider-Man quality out of it, that would be 100% for it. And I feel like at the same time we need more single player experience.
Yeah, 100%. It's the big gap that they're missing, that they've been trying to fill with acquisitions, but because of COVID and the rest of the world and all kinds of delays and stuff, it's like again, like the Starfield was kind of supposed to be that for this year, right? Is that big single player, thing that everyone plays,
and it's not happening.
There is a rumor that apparently Machine Games are going to be announcing the next Wolfenstein at the Summer Games Fest.
Well, it's either going to be Wolfenstein or
yeah, right. It's got to be one or the other, right? They need something. Because those
as long as we don't get Youngblood again, it's fine.
Yeah, right.
As long as my Harry Potter game does not get delayed again.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, it is Warner Brothers.
And that I'm a bit concerned that that's going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned as well, especially considering it's Warner Brothers.
Actually, talking about Warner Brothers,
it's kind of gone quiet again.
And Gotham Knights got delayed as well, right? So
talking in Warner Brothers, did you guys check out any of the multiverses stuff after last week's show?
I have seen a little bit of it, and I've had a little bit of a chat to a couple of my Twitter friends about it. It does look pretty cool.
I'm pretty pumped for it.
Yeah,
I'm not really like a platform fighter kind of guy. Like I enjoy Smash only because of the characters, and not because of the actual game.
Yeah,
and even then, like I don't enjoy it that much. Like it's just kind of a fun, like,
interesting. Like it's not going to affect achievements or anything, or play a match kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll play as Kirby. I'll absorb someone's powers and then just get booted off the side of the thing and just jump back as many times as possible to annoy them and just keep hitting the taunt button.
Play for like 10 minutes and then be like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Back to
cool. I'm
Xbox.
just like, yeah, sweet. Yeah, done basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is kind of where this sits for me, maybe. And even then, like, like I can't play as Samus, so I don't really care that much.
Yeah, and like the achievement list is out, but it's not live yet. So
Yeah, it's not nothing's
because
unlocking.
it's still.
But it looks
yeah.
like a actually pretty decent list.
All right. I mean, then like that gets me halfway in the door anyway. So
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff is like, play 250 matches, that kind of stuff. Which I'm like, I don't mind if I'm playing it with friends and that actually having
Wouldn't
fun.
actually be too bad. Yeah. And like you can play it, like I think the cool thing is that you can play it online. So it is like I want a lot more of those kind of games because a lot of my friends are online that I'm going to play with. Like I don't play couch co-op because I
don't have a couch.
I don't have a couch. This is true. Well, I do. It's upstairs. It's just I have to share it with people. So they're not as.
That's usually how a couch works. Yeah.
But couch is usually upstairs, and
Nate.
you don't. Yeah,
you got to share it with people. Yeah, because otherwise you can't play co-op on a couch if there's not another person. On
I never share couch with people. Couches are just another sleeping spot.
I mean, it's big enough to fit.
Mate, I've heard
sleeping.
some of your opinions. I can't be surprised that you're sleeping on the couch all the time.
Anyway, moving along. Yeah, I'd be pretty pumped for it because I can't think of the last game where I was able to actually just play a game without worrying about the achievements, and then when I get tired of it, worry about the boosting and all that later. Like I want a good game where I can be like, all right, cool, we've played for like 4 weekends in a row, and I've got 600 gamer score. Let me just clean up the rest now.
Sure. Yeah, there's something to be said for that for sure.
We haven't had one of those games in like such a long time. Moving along. New consoles 2024. 100% right. It feels like we just got them.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Well,
it's been like a year and a half.
But that is still another 2. Like that's like 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be like holiday.
Probably, yeah, so it'll be just over 2 years.
So Chinese electronics company TCL, which is second largest in the global TV market.
Great to get a cheap TV if you need something that sounds like shit but still looks okay.
Yeah. They had a press event this week to showcase their latest TVs, and a company representative said they expect Gen 9.5 to arrive by 2024.
Okay.
Not really basing this on anything at all.
Yeah.
As like, okay, the only reason I put this in here is like it's essentially clickbait. Like,
yeah, it is.
New consoles 2024.
It's kind of a non-story, right? But like again, like a lot of people are talking about it, so it does make sense.
And then they did predictions of what they believe the 9.5 consoles would be, in providing gameplay in 60 to 120 frames per second at a resolution of 2160p. They offer the ability to play in 8K. Still feel like 8K is. I mean, how many people have 8K TVs?
I mean, there are a few out there, and by the time we get to 2024, there'll be more. I'm more concerned about what games actually run in 8K, because there'll be fucking none of them.
No.
Half of them don't even run in 4K yet.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't. There's not really much point in that, because I mean, okay, so what's the gap between the Xbox One and then?
So the gap from Xbox One. Okay, if we
Xbox
go from
One is 2013, but
Xbox One was 2013. Sorry, Xbox One and PS4 was 2013.
Yeah.
It was 720p, 30 frame, or 1080p 30 frame, most part.
Yeah, well, it was almost all. Actually, no. Most I would say the 360 was essentially 30.
Oh,
720.
Yeah.
So like
So
1080 1080 was the standard by the end of the 360 generation and going into the Xbox One generation. And so Xbox One was 1080, 30, and then some 1080 to 60, all the way through up until the Scorpio, the One X, and that was
Which
kind
is
of where they
4K,
were starting.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's when they started pushing 4K 30 on some games. That again, that was when they had like, is it Xbox One X like enhanced or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then now it basically came back to, okay, well now you can play 4K 30 or 1080 60. So we haven't actually moved all that far. It's just kind of we've given a few more options, and even then, most games don't take full advantage of it anyway.
I feel like
even
the TV tech's moved a much further pace than gaming,
as you'd expect, right? Because TVs, there's a lot of competition. They're faster to make. They're cheaper to make. There's not a lot of other stuff you have to do. The content always comes afterwards, but Even then, like I still don't see a lot of TV 4K content either. But I'm also blind as fuck, so I don't really care all that much.
See,
Like,
yeah, I barely ever noticed the difference. Okay, the only time when I noticed the difference was when I was upgrading from my monitors 2011 to a 4K monitor.
Yeah.
Built in 2021.
And you'll notice 4K a lot more on a smaller screen where they have a lot more pixel density, right? Like I've got my 75-inch TV, right? Like it looks great. But most of what I'm interested in on the gaming side is performance anyway. So like anytime, like I'm playing, Forza Horizon, it's like, do you want to play this in like pretty mode or performance mode? I'm like, I want 60 FPS all the time. I don't care if it's 720p. I don't care if it's 1080. Just fucking keep it consistent and keep the frame rate high, and I will take that every single time.
Because the most immersion, like jarring experience that you have is the frame rate.
Absolutely, having a stuttering frame rate just takes you right out of the experience.
Yeah, I find it interesting that how do I
I feel like it should be longer before it's going to even have another console come out, because it was 7 years between the last two.
Yes,
no,
well, yes and no, right?
No, because this is like a half step though.
It's like a half step, right? Like
Yeah.
the same way the
0.5.
One X was a half step. So, and that was about 4 years in or so. So like
Okay.
it tracks.
Okay,
Like
that's not too bad then.
And again, like they are just making a guess, right? So, and I think that's probably a relatively educated guess considering how things are going.
PS5 might be a different story of chip shortages.
Well, the chip shortage is going to affect both consoles, to be fair.
Yeah,
but Xbox paid to get basically get their foot in the door.
They did, but that doesn't necessarily translate to a new SKU with a new chipset potentially.
Yeah.
No, but if they're tracking to put money up front to be able to get that edge over their competitors. Yeah,
no, you're right. I think that and like what you said, Charlotte, like it feels like the generation's barely begun because of all the delays and everything that's happened. It's like when does the console start? When do the games come out? What are we playing?
Yeah.
Like at this point, like, and I said this before the Series X came out, like I was like, I don't really see a reason to pick up a Series X. And like I love the one that I have, it's fantastic. But I still don't know if I would have bought one, considering I was running perfectly fine on a One X.
You know what though?
Yeah.
Quick resume. Just for that feature alone is just.
It's good.
See, I don't know the difference because this is the one that I've started on. Like I wouldn't trade this for the world. This is already by far better than my PlayStation 3 that I had. So like I don't have anything else to base it on.
Try going back to the Xbox 360 now though from a Series X.
I do. It is rough. It is very rough.
Yeah,
because I've still got those non-backwards compatible games.
Like I went from Series X to getting the Elite Xbox One out, doing the Kinect Zoo Tycoon. Oh my god, that was like pulling teeth, like trying to install updates and everything.
Yeah, it's slow. It's slow, and like the load times are still longer, and like that is noticeable, right? But it's not the kind of thing that I would have like this. It's the thing we say all the time, right? There's no killer app. There hasn't been like a Series X exclusive that maybe go, I need to get the Series consoles now. It's like, well, no, all of the stuff is still coming to the previous gen. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
They just announced that the new Modern Warfare game is coming to current gen this year. Like that's insanity.
I think Forza Motorsport will be the first example of something, even though it isn't completely.
Is it gonna be a Series exclusive? I don't know. I mean, they
have.
Well,
that's what the rumor is.
That's the rumor, right? But until they say it, like I just feel like it's like if they announce that that's coming out on the old consoles, then like I'm just gonna be like, well, what's the point? Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, you've seen how well Forza Horizon 5 does.
Oh, it does great, absolutely. But I could literally still play that on my old console if I wanted to. And like I'm definitely like it's like don't get me wrong, it's a powerhouse. It's definitely working better. It plays better. Like I have more options available to me because of it. But if it was between me and $800 or $900 my hard-earned cash, it would take me a bit. Like I would still, and like I'm in a privileged position where like if it came down to it, I can go out and get one of those consoles if I absolutely need to, right? And even then, I'm just like, it still makes me think like,
see, like, I can agree with your argument if I was an everyday consumer, but the fact that I put the same, if not more hours into gaming than I do work during a like a typical week,
Yeah.
to me it's a no-brainer to be an early adopter unless there's a Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death situation.
Sure, but I think the thing with being an early adopter is that you pay the most, you get the least.
Yeah, okay.
And I do, yeah, and then Shanus in chat says basically the performance of Forza Horizon 5 is pretty good on the Xbox One consoles. Exactly, right? Like
the only
And
thing
I've
that's
also got friends that run like Xbox One consoles and they're fine with it. Like Mike still runs on it and she's completely happy with it.
Well, she's got like the original old
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like I've still got I've still got a One X, you know, as like the sort of secondary console for double boxing and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, and that still runs fine when I need to use it. Obviously it's not the preference, but you know, the only reason I got that was because I got it cost me like $75 after I did like amazing trade-in deal. I'm like, that's different, right? Like if I can get an amazing deal and it's on sale and it comes with a bunch of stuff, then that's one thing. But I'm like talking about like full price.
When I did my trade-in for the Double Up games and all that I ended up getting $1,400 on a gift card.
Right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Like,
so it was like it was a no-brainer that I was going to get a.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm more talking like sort of, you know, without any sort of promotional stuff around it, like as just looking at it as a box that you buy for 900 New Zealand dollars.
Yeah,
I would still be like, yeah, I'm not seeing a huge benefit, like in terms of exclusives and like the things I can only play, because again, I'm not really, you know, I don't wax poetic about fucking frame rates and resolution and teraflops and shit. Like that's all nice to have, but at the end of the day, I just want to play the games.
Yeah. So we only like talk about those things when it affects our gameplay.
Yeah, usually negatively, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, we're all in a position where we all have Series X, but like I remember talking to you about when I bought my Series X, whether I was going to get a Series S instead. And like the reason I got the X was because I wanted the bigger hard drive space, and that was my biggest decision between the two. And like I still cart my Series X around whenever I like go and visit people, or just take it with me and stick it in a backpack and I'm good to go. But I can see why it would be easier to have a Series S for that reason.
Series S is such an amazing travel companion.
Yeah, like you could just put a couple of games on it and go. It's like so much easier for that respect. Like, and I can understand why people would potentially like that's a good step up. But if you're going to go and actually fully upgrade, you should go for the X. Like,
yeah,
that's
it was the obvious choice for you as well, because you didn't have a One X or anything like that.
And it was my first like Xbox console. I was like, well, there's no point getting something that's like not new gen.
Yeah,
like I may as well just get the Series X, because why the fuck not? But yeah,
the crazy thing is too, like when we get, you know, a few years down the line, these newer consoles come out too. Like even picking up a Series S is probably going to cost somebody $250.
It's true.
At that point, it will be worth it because of the small form factor. You'll still be able to play all these games. It'll be like the perfect. You know what? It would be an absolute day one purchase for me if I was traveling like in and out for work kind of situation. Yeah,
and like if I had a One X or a One even, then I would actually get a Series S, because that would be really like great to have as an additional one, right?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have got my Series X in that respect, but like Shayna says, I got the Series S because I don't mind digital only too much, and usually when I bet a game I install anyway. That's me. That's me. But yeah, like I like having my X. It's good.
The only reason I have ever gone an X over an X, essentially, I will pick up whatever's the cheapest.
Yeah.
Whether it be digital or physical. Yeah. You know, like most of the time.
That was originally my thinking, right? I was like, okay, the Series S is cheaper. And then Matt was pointing out different things about the X. I was like, oh, actually, since that is going to be my main one, that actually makes sense.
It's future-proofing, right?
Yeah. And for new people coming in, it makes sense to go for that one. But if you've already been an Xbox player, an S makes more sense in that situation.
Like, this is the only reason that I don't entirely go on an S, but having one just for travel for Nikita. Being able to chuck 100 indies on it because of Game Pass and required like barely an internet connection.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
you just go.
I'm 99% digital right now anyway, and I'm working to get that to 100. But like, you know, it's nice to have the ability to use a disc.
I have 2 games on disc. 2.
I have
Yeah,
account.
compared to you. I would have had 3, but I lost one of them. But I have it digital anyway, so I don't need it. Like Sunset Overdrive, I've got digital. But that was my other. But at the moment, I literally only have 2. I have The Witcher 3, the Game of the Year edition, and Halo Anniversary.
Which you also have digital.
Yeah, which I have digital as well. So I've got like, I don't need that game. I got it because originally we wanted it for playing with
The
Xbox cast. Yeah, when they did Witcher Ween. And yeah, Halo Anniversary I got on CD because it like on disc because I want to play it with my boyfriend Dio. So like I had to get it on disc.
Yeah, it's been delisted.
Yeah,
so
it's been delisted. So that was my only choice. So, but I like otherwise everything I have is digital. Everything. I don't see a point in having the discs.
I agree.
For me, it doesn't make sense for me to have them. Yeah.
And I'm still sort of slowly converting the rest of my disc library into digital versions as well. It's just it's the last ones I have tend to be very fucking expensive because they're obscure and they never go on sale, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm trying, but same situation, and I mean, like, this is hard to get to.
I mean,
you've got to, you've got.
You don't have a reason to right now, Cameron, because everything you've got all the discs, so there's no point in getting digital when you've got all the discs, right?
I mean, if I had friends, I could lend games out to people too.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
But hard to
I mean, I've got friends, but they're over the river. Hey,
yeah, it's too fucking expensive. Shipping.
Last 2 things I was going to quickly touch base on before we move off is that the QA testers have even proved to unionize.
Which is good.
That was like 19 to 3 in terms of positive. So they are the first they're the first North American game developers to form a union. Good.
Cool.
I can't remember what the name is off the top of my head. I think it was the Game Developers Alliance or something like that.
Something like those lines, yeah, which is great.
And then the other news is I was trying to find an article for it before, but the rumor going around at the moment, Banjo-Kazooie is getting a remaster done by Double Fine, which I can't think of a better studio to do.
Yeah, I think at this stage it'll probably be more like a remake, right? Because again, I don't see them using the old N64 stuff. But yeah, like Double Fine is the perfect pick for that, and I really hope to see it.
Yeah,
because Rare has proved they have no fucking idea what they're doing.
It's funny though. Like just 3 months ago, we had that fan remaster that was going around, or like Project Dream or something. So yeah. And then going back to 2020, Tim Schafer going like, no, there's no way that we're working on a Banjo-Kazooie game. Like I said, if I get Banjo-Kazooie, you know what? If I get Banjo-Kazooie and I get Titanfall free this year, you know what? No, even if I get no first party this year and just get a Banjo-Kazooie game announcement, that's it. This will be the best year for me in terms of gaming.
Summer Game
Give
Fest
me Cyberpunk Cat.
Oh yeah, Stray.
I want Stray.
Stray looks good. We've got Summer Game Fest coming up on the 7th, so it's like next week or close to like next weekend.
It is next week because it's 3 weeks to my birthday, and that's the 17th, so it's next week.
So that'll be good. All right. Cameron, do you want to quickly go through the Game Pass stuff?
Yep. So we had Fluffy Nights added on the 24th. I'm really keen for this. The art style looks amazing. If any of you ever have played Dicey Dungeons, it's got the same art direction. The same guy does both games. So yeah. Sniper Elite 5 got added May 26th. Go shoot Hitler in the ballsack. Wish I was joking. That was an achievement.
No, that's an achievement.
It's an achievement. Pac-Man Museum's getting added today, May 27th. Terms of games for the next month that we're aware of. For Honor Marching Fire Edition is getting added to Game Pass June 1st. Assassin's Creed Origins is getting added June 7th. Amazing game. Shadowrun Trilogy is getting added June 21st. And Escape Academy is getting added June 28th. Imagine with the Shadowrun Trilogy getting added in, that's probably going to take a lot of half of the month, but yeah. In terms of the games that are leaving, EA Sports NHL 20 is leaving. I believe 22 got added to Ultimate. Yep. Farming Simulator 19, similar situation, leaving May 31st. First half of the month we got Farming Sim 2022. Did you guys know there is a Farming Simulator Esports League?
I did.
Wow.
I heard about this. I heard about this yesterday, and
I did not know this.
I was surprised, but I shouldn't have been.
Yep. I had the exact same sentiment.
Yep.
Knockout City is leaving, but is also going free to play, so explains that. I guess the 3 main games that are leaving are Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, Super Hot Mind Control Delete, and Yes Your Grace.
Charlotte's favorite game.
I'm working on it, okay?
Every single time I check my console and you're on Yes Your Grace. Oh, she's playing this amazing game.
I'm sure she'll tell you all about it when she finishes it.
I need to play Mind Scanners already.
I have opinions.
Yeah, all right. Let's get into what we're playing. I will quickly flick through what I've got. I'll leave Saints Row for you, Charlotte. But
cool.
I've been playing Sniper Elite 4 with Nick, as I talked about a little bit last week, how he twisted my arm. And he messaged me after I wrote that song saying, "Oh, by twisting my arm, I just asked you, did you want to play Sniper Elite 4? And you said no. And then afterwards you said yes." And I was like, "Yeah, that was twisting my arm because I knew you wanted to play it. Don't fucking bullshit me." So yeah, no, we're having a good time. He is going away for a bit, so we haven't managed to finish it yet, at least the first playthrough yet. But he gets very upset when we when we alert the guards and things go badly. Which is like that's my favorite part of the game is when the alarms go off and all the Nazis start rushing at you. And it's like gunning them down.
Like
it's great where you're just like fucking and like again we're playing on cadet, so there's no bullet drop. There's like a fucking red dot. I can zoom right in on their heads and just fucking put a bullet right through them. Like it's so satisfying playing that game on easy. And the fact that it has high difficulty modes, I think is the worst thing they ever thought of. Like they really should have just left it on easy and you just fucking going in there like the fucking inglorious bastard that you are and just ruining the shit out of a bunch of Nazis. It's amazing.
Can I add something about Sniper Elite? Sniper Elite 5 getting added to Game Pass and getting released on consoles this week.
Yeah.
5-Star, who is helping with the physical release here in Australia, they did a promotion with EA, with EB Games, where if you called a hotline and got in, you got a free copy of the game. You just had to bring a code. Okay. I set up an auto dialer on Thursday.
God.
I work smarter, not harder yet.
How did it go?
I did 10-second intervals or no less than 200 calls.
Yep.
Never got through once.
Of course you fucking didn't. No one ever got through. That's how those things work.
There was a few people that won copies of the game though that I saw on Twitter. But I finally, I did this all morning. I called back at 1:30 and they're just like, "Oi, soldier, the hotline's down now. You've missed your shot." And it was just like, just calling back for that little snippet of somebody pretending to do.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty
funny. Boys. Yeah. I'm just like, I don't even care that I didn't win it now. I'll just go and play it in Game Pass. It's fine.
I've heard good things about the 5th game. I'm going to be, the 4th game is probably going to be enough of a tooth pull before I go into the 5th one. And also I'm a little bit worried about the DLC model based on what happened with Zombie Army. So that's been the main thing we're playing. And I've also now gone back to Forza 5 because we're now back to the beginning of the seasons.
You having fun?
No, that's the thing. I fucking loved this game up until I have to do this bullshit. This festival stuff is the worst. You were right. This is the worst part of the game. They had a 10 out of 10 amazing experience with good level of difficulty and being able to tweak things and lots of events to do. And now they're like, okay, now I hope you've been saving your credits because you need to drive this specific expensive car, do a bunch of events that you fucking hate, and then get really, really good. And it's like, oh no, you were playing on easy before? No, these guys are on hard. No, it's like, no, there's no option to change the difficulty. You have to beat them. And if you don't beat them and you miss out on the event, you need to wait a month to try it again.
So I kind of what's the best way to say this without you cracking the shit?
And you knew this going into this.
I don't want to say get good because that's not the right sentiment. I do want to say that with these events, the difficulty does stack up higher. And at the same time, if you were doing the higher difficulty in the first place, you would have got more credits.
But it doesn't matter. I've managed to buy all the houses, so I don't really care. And the credit increase is only 50%, so I'm fine. I get more from wheel spins than anything anyway.
Yeah, wheel spins is Like this is why I always buy the even the Ultimate add-ons bundle. Like I know I'm gonna buy the stuff down the line. I know that I am going to enjoy the game immensely. I buy the treasure maps because it's only a few bucks for me. I'm happy to.
Sure.
It's a stupid model, but it's a game series that I love.
Yeah, and look, it's a fantastic game. Like it's well made. It looks amazing. Again, all the stuff I've talked about the last couple of weeks. And so I just went back and I've done a couple of the challenges, but some of them like, okay, now you're going to race against a bunch of like unbeatable or whatever the highest difficulty is drivatars that you need to beat. I'm like, and if I can't beat this in a week, I'm fucked.
The only problem I have with the unbeatable ones is it's so reliant on teammates.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. Like I'll do a few of those races to try and beat it. And like I'll be fine personally for the most part, unless somebody just goes like, all right, I'm gonna be a dick and T-bone you off the road.
But yeah, so we'll say again, I'm gonna have to get good, and and the thing is like I'm gonna need a bunch of extra cars, which is just really annoying because it's kind of not why I play that game. Like I've got like a set bunch of cars that I like using, but this one's all about like German cars. So you got to have Audis and Porsches and stuff, which again are all very expensive. But like it's a fine game and like it's really, really good. But this festival stuff, like I've got like 4 or 5 achievements left, and like it's like this and the Eliminator, and I'm really not looking forward to either of them. I did get 3rd in the Eliminator the other night though.
Eliminator is just persistent. Yeah, like I said, the best thing for you to do in the Eliminator is like stay put, try and get to like a level 7 car, get to the end, like the end race, and then just drive straight away in like one direction.
Yeah, if you like, I roughly know where. Like I've got a map of roughly when they end, what direction the ends are usually in, and it's fine. But everyone else also is waiting in that same spot because they fucking know it by now. But whatever, it's fine. I'll get through it. I promised I would, so I will keep working at it. But yeah, it's like that. And also Guardians of Middle Earth is kind of something I've been working on. I need to get my 100 wins. I'm at like 33 or 34. Got a really good method, but again, every match still takes 10 to 20 minutes, so it's a slog. Yeah. And if anyone out there is listening to this and can help me with the last achievement for damaging all the heroes and villains, I would really, really appreciate it. Because I haven't been able to match up with anyone, and the AI does not change. So I have to find someone else, and if I can't, I'll never be able to finish.
Was it Games of Gold?
I don't think so.
See if I got access. I'll just game my tag. It's fine.
Yeah, what do you care? Anyway, that's me. I have no idea what I got this week. Probably
this is why I start games, to help our community.
That's whatever. Yes. You did it to get a fucking Xbox. Don't even front. All right. Well, that's me. I have no idea what I scored this week. Probably like 1,300 or something like that.
I'll quickly go through mine because mine's essentially the same thing. Overcooked 2, I talked around like heaps last week. I've just done like a few little bits. For the most part this week, I've just been really addicted to Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
The remastered version.
The remastered version, yeah. Point, in fact, that I'm probably going to do all the Xbox One games after this.
Okay.
Which I didn't see myself going into. And I'm like, I really enjoyed the cops part of Hot Pursuit.
Yeah, you've been having a great time with the cops.
No, the cops are fine. I love the cops bit. The races are fucking bullshit.
ACAB. Sorry, what?
Anyway, fuck Chapters and fuck Ethan for getting me addicted to a game series again. Absolute monsters.
I love how competitive...
You got caught up in their competition.
Yeah. I was going to say, you weren't even involved in their competition.
No.
They just baited you a little bit, and you just were like hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course. You're just like, I'll just join, okay.
But yeah, I helped Chapters this morning finish off his completion, which was really good. I'm really glad for him. Sorry, Ethan. He asked me first. But yeah, I've been really enjoying Hot Pursuit for the most part, except for like a few races that are just very skinny your teeth.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, which I'm going back and playing the old 360 version. And I'm really struggling with some of the later races. Just because the timing on a lot of that stuff is.
Talking in Need for Speed, yeah, I went back and as me and Chapters were talking about it, I'm just like, I'm probably going to play Rivals next because one, it's the earliest Xbox One version there is. Okay. Also, the fact that the only other one that I can think of that has heavily involved, like in the game model. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back to that. But I decided to have a look at all the 360 games as well. Most Wanted. Original Most Wanted 2005 and Most Wanted 2012 are the only games on the Xbox 360 that are still completable fully.
I've done both
Okay.
of them. Yep.
Which is fucking funny because every single game between them has some level of discontinuity.
Yeah. Which is why I was so desperate to get them finished, because I'm worried that because Hot Pursuit obviously joined them with their server going down. Just very lucky to have that.
If Hot Pursuit goes back up, I'll probably try and grab that. But I mean, like, I'm not worried about a serious completion of this. I just want to have some really decent racing game. Playing.
Well, you know, if we want to play Burnout Paradise Remastered, I'd be more than happy for us to jump in a group and do that.
Actually,
because I own it and I did it on the 360 back in the day, and it's one of the few racing games that I'm actually okay at.
I put 5 hours into it, so
there's a lot of online for it though.
Yeah, the problem is getting 8 people together. Yeah,
yes,
because you need that whole
for the challenges. Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
I mean that's what we have a community for, right? Is to strong arm them into playing games with us.
Next month is Burnout Month. No,
right.
Lately, it's just like I've really wanted to play Burnout again. Burnout Paradise doesn't hold a candle to 3 for me.
I love Burnout Paradise, but yeah, it's not the same.
I don't. It's weird, yeah, because if I want an open world model, Forza Horizon, way to go, yeah.
Yeah.
If I want a do a mission kind of thing, Burnout Free Takedown, like any of the earlier Burnout games, that's what I want.
To be fair though, Burnout Paradise basically invented that model for cars, right? Like, I mean, the Most Wanted 2012 or whatever it was game, like that was just Burnout Paradise 2. Like they just remade it basically with licensed cars and like, you know, less DJ Atomica. Anyway.
So yeah, other than, you know, just getting all the racing done, there's not really much to say. Somehow I've got 1065 this week and I don't know how. The only other games other than that I played a little bit of Fall Guys with Adrian. But he wanted me to, he jumped in the chat before just to say Fall Guys.
Yep.
Because apparently the achievements will carry over from Steam onto.
Oh, cool.
And he knows a way to get the 5 wins at the moment. So I mean, if you have access to the game on Steam, any other platform, might be a good thing to look into now before it goes to free to play and the servers fill up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
True.
We also did Human Fall Flat, which we didn't talk about, but that was kind of.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's fine. It's on my list.
It's on your list. Okay, cool. Yeah.
It was like one of the best maps that we've done. But yeah, I'll let you talk. Other than that, yeah, 1065 for the week. I am probably going to spend. Probably going to be the same next week. I'm probably going to be working on getting completion of Hot Pursuit and yeah, finishing off the Overcooked series.
Sweet. All right, Charlotte. What about you?
Yeah, if anyone does pay attention to my tag on Xbox, they will see that I have literally been trying to do Yes Your Grace every single day. So I do tend to have games on idle, and this is the one that I have on idle to try and encourage me to play it. I did get through a little bit the other day. I got through like 7 weeks all in one run and then ran out of supplies and went, cool, great. I'm going to stop playing this right now because it's fucking me off. And then
can I just say, I just want to add one observation too. This is definitely not a stream game. Every single time you try and start this on stream, I'm like the meme of the guy hunched over holding his head like, what are you doing?
I'm only doing it to try and encourage me to actually play it and get it complete because I'm like, if people are actually then watching me, they're like, yeah.
She is the most distracted person I've ever met.
And now you see what happens
in a positive
when I'm actually just sitting at home trying to play this game because it does not in any way, shape, or form engage me in the slightest. I have no interest. And I'm really struggling with it, but I am going to get it done. I will get it done because it has to be done. I have another 2 days. 3 days? 2 days.
3 days, 3 or 4 days. Yeah, you're good.
I mean, this is the kind of game that I would buy for the account. So.
Yeah, like when I did when I managed to get through my first run and get to the war, the first fight scene and stuff, I did enjoy the story up to that point. But because I had to go through and do it so many times now, I'm just like, I hate it. I hate it. It's driving me insane because I had to repeat the same thing over and over and over. I'm now on to like run 7 of me trying to get this good run, and I'm just like, I'm done. I'm over it.
Why are you continuously trying to do the good run? Why
Do you
don't
know
you do the
why?
bad run now? Get the bad run.
Well,
out of the
I
way.
tried that twice, so I might as well just do it now.
I mean, either way, I think she's running out of resources, which I think is like no matter.
Two things happened. The first time I tried to do the good run, I ran out of money, and the second time, this one, I ran out of supplies. So I'm like, whoa, okay, cool.
Supplies is kind of the easy one though.
As
You
far-
just stop feeding your troops for a bit.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, the bad ending you've got a lot more.
Yeah, you do.
You
Like
do.
to a point, but
But
you do have a
still
lot
to
more
manage
room
it.
to play with the story.
If I were
let
you,
me put it this way: when I played through and did the bad ending, I just followed the walkthrough again.
Yeah.
Like, I just
Yeah.
did the same thing.
I did the
I
same thing.
kind of
But
okay. So
but
for
very
the bad
loosely.
stuff, I kind of want to, once I get through this run, then sit and enjoy it so that it's my last memory of the game. I don't want this to be my last experience with it. Do you know what I mean? I actually want a solid, okay, I actually want to just play it without having to read a walkthrough. It's interesting though, because I actually did use this game as an example when I went to, I have talked about this previously in other episodes, but I do struggle with mental health and like anxiety, and the newest thing that I'm trying to get a diagnosis for is ADHD, and it's very obvious that I definitely have it. But to go through the system in New Zealand, you have to basically show that you have extreme effects on your life. So like it's one of those things where like this morning I had to literally spend an hour and a half going over all of the bad stuff that this affects me, and like how it just basically made me feel like I'm a complete failure. And so when games make me feel like that, like this one has, I don't want it. I don't want this feeling. It does not make me enjoy playing it, because my brain just is not wired for this game. Like I'm struggling to read the walkthrough, to then do the game and concentrate on enough time to get a good storyline run through, right? So that's where I'm struggling. That's the exact reason why it's taking me so long to do this game.
there's something I really want to say with that, but I don't know if I'm under NDA.
Right, and I think
so I'm not going to say it.
I think the thing
Please.
is that like I think I've seen you struggle with that with other games too, but this is this one.
But this is particularly bad
because there's nothing else there with the game. It is all
Yeah.
just decisions. Yeah.
and like I don't know which decision to pick to get the right track, right? So I'm then having to go through and read the walkthrough and then go, we'll talk about it more when we actually get through. But I think what I'll do is I'll keep going through this run. I will keep doing it because this is the hardest part, right? This is the hardest part. Once I get through this, I then will be able to do the bad runs and get all the bad achievements, and I'll be fine. And then at least I'll have a good memory out of this. But that's my opinion currently. So the other games that I have been playing, because I switched very quickly, and I kind of want to do more Saints Row on stream because that was so
we had
much
a great time.
fun.
We had a great time. That was fucking hilarious.
That was so much fun. So much fun. Although a couple of the achievements aren't popping, and I'm really not sure why they're not doing it. There are a couple of buggy ones, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, there's one in particular that's kind of annoying, but I think we'll.
The question I have for us all is when
Yes.
the new Saints Row game comes out this year, something that we're all going to grab and stream.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'll do
again,
it.
I don't stream,
100%.
but I'll be happy.
I mean, like you stream,
But
but
he can stream with me. It's fine.
I mean, like he
Just
streams
tag
through
team.
us, so it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm probably gonna play it anyway because I like the series. So
Mhm.
yeah, that could be good. But again, that's the only fucking thing coming out this year anyway. So what else am I
Yeah,
gonna
I
play?
mean,
So-
I mean, every time I see the Saints Row game, I immediately think of the dad joke. Oh my god, I didn't even think of the dad joke list. I'm so tired today.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
It's a
It's
shame.
fine.
Oh, such a shame.
Fine.
All right, the one that I know off the top of my head is just like, how much does a hipster weigh? Instagram. That dad joke just screams the new
Mhm.
Saints Row to me.
Yeah, it does. Like, but that's like I'm fine. I'm
Fine.
fine with that. Like, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I mean, if I
I
can
just-
lean fully into like a cringe hipster,
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'd do it. I just hope they don't take it too far away from, because I'm enjoying Saints Row the Third, the remastered version, so much.
Yeah.
If they take too much away from that, I'm not going to like it as much. I love the fact that it is just chaos.
Yeah.
and I have to run around with the penetrator
I'm-
fucking bat with a
Oh god.
It's
Yeah,
every single
and
right.
whack people to death with it. Like that's fucking funny.
And the fact that you just jump in a VTOL with a laser gun and just start mowing down people and shit. Like,
and there's a Molotov that's like a freaking fart in a jar.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will enjoy the new Saints Row game, but I don't know if we'll enjoy it as much as I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, okay, yeah. Charlotte doesn't know. Yeah, that's because again, there's the fourth game.
That's an intro.
Yeah, no,
it's an intro.
That's the intro thing. The very intro.
So just no spoilers, please.
But yes, you'll enjoy it. Like you'll enjoy a lot of the fourth game as well. It's a different tone, but it's also kind of the same tone. Like that, it's a similar kind of jokes and kind of same sense of humor, but add more Matrixy kind of weird cyber shit in there, which is again is still in the third game as well. But
even Get It Out of Hell, even though it was, I don't want to say panned by people.
It was not great.
It wasn't great. I still enjoyed it as a game.
It was fine, but it was very obviously a side story.
Yeah,
like they just.
Well, I've got it. I do intend to play it. So
it's like a new, it's like a Far Cry Primal.
Far
Cry 4 kind of situation.
Approach to it. Yeah.
Okay,
but I would definitely recommend the fourth game once we finish the third one. Fourth one is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Fourth one is
Your
cancer or what is it? Stop World Hunger.
But from the crack house to the White House is just the best tagline for a video game I've ever seen.
Amazing. Okay, that sounds like fun.
And the collector's edition. Still the best collector's edition.
Still best, $1 million collector's edition. Yeah. I think it came with some plastic surgery included as well.
So
I played more stuff.
I was going to say,
take away from my tent.
I was about to say, Charlotte. Yeah, well, you got distracted, Charlotte.
I got distracted, motherfucker. Please.
This is our segment now.
Yeah, sorry. You were saying what else have you been playing, Charlotte?
Okay, so that was my stream on Wednesday. On last Sunday, though, I did actually start something I promised I would.
What did you start? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. It's a thing.
Can I just say too, coming into your stream on Wednesday night and immediately putting up a poll was just like, should you play Outlast?
Oh my god! And everyone's like, yes, do it. I'm like, yes,
and
Sundays.
Like,
it's Outlast Sundays.
Tricked you all.
Tricked you all. Sunday. If you want to come and watch me and scare me with sound alerts, because I have set up some sound alerts that are just a few bits to purchase. They will scare the shit out of me while I'm playing this scary fucking game.
I'm only modding your streams now if the Mortal Kombat stays.
I will leave the Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat will stay. The new one that I found is actually better anyway. It's shorter. So yeah,
sure it's not better.
It's just the right part of it. Yeah, it's that bit. Outlast is interesting. It took me ages to get out of that the pump room. I died 11 times?
Yeah, something like that. Very first enemy in the game. To be fair, I have the exact same problem on Insane mode, where I still have never gotten past him on Insane, because when you die, you start the whole game again, and I've just never been able to make myself get back to that.
Okay. I'm not great at games, and then someone popped in chat, some new person popped in chat, was like, why are you not playing this on Insane? Why are you playing it on normal? You should be playing it on Insane from the start. And I'm like, have you met me? I can't even jump in platformers. Like, you want me to play Insane on a game I've never played before? Okay, cool.
You did manage to get stuck in the scaffolding almost immediately, so yeah.
That was great.
The jump was a bit weird.
The best thing about it is that everyone in chat had already played the game to death, so they knew exactly when to drop the sound alerts. Fuck, like the part where you were sliding.
Oh my god, the John Cena one was
so good.
Timing.
It was so good. I was dying.
Yeah, and then Noel did that one just before he left, and just the timing of that was perfect. There is still the video of that stream is still up, and I am gonna save it and download it, and we might try and see if we can put it on our YouTube, just because then it's immortalized in fame.
It's very funny.
But yes, I am gonna do the first run through. Will be done all on stream. So once I've done the first run through, then I will take it off probably, and I'll start working on the achievements. But I'm still going in completely blind, so I still don't know what I'm doing.
You got a lot of game to get through.
Yes, I do. Yeah, and it's going to take me a while, but that's fine.
But you made progress. Like you actually,
Yeah.
You actually made a bit of progress, which was good.
But I managed to get past so I got through the pump room and fixed the electricity, and then I went back through in that staff room, lounge room area. And then the dude got up off his wheelchair and like tried to choke me again.
Classic, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got to the security room and got knocked out and thrown in the the padded cell.
That's right. So I was in the padded cell, and I've done the JO and saw the naked duties, which I just kind of blankly ignored.
Fair.
Yeah. And got past them. And I'm currently stuck in that second security room with the guy that's in the room, and I have to get up into the venting and then jump around, go through the venting, come down the other side and out. So I think that's where I stuck.
Roughly, I think, and then you had some stream difficulties. I think.
Then my stream decided to die because I don't own a capture card and everything's going through Go Lightstream. So
I think the problem is Lightstream.
Issues.
Lightstream's just shit.
But I can't not use Lightstream because I can't. Currently, I have OBS set up. It's ready to go. But until I get a capture card, I can't use OBS to stream because it won't connect. So I have to use Go Lightstream currently as my streaming service. So when I eventually get to that point, I'll upgrade it and it'll be fine. I then did a little bit more Hades. I jumped back into Hades. And I haven't played this for a couple of months since the hype died down. And I'm like, I love that game so much.
It's a great game.
I keep forgetting how much I love it.
One of the best voice acted indies.
Yeah, like I think that's because I'm at the stage where like the achievements are going to be harder, and I haven't quite finished the full 10 runs.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'll put it down and I'll come back to it at some point. And I'm still trying to get my achievements once a day, and we're getting there, but I love that game so much. Like, it makes me so happy. Oh, I love the music. I love the style. I love the fighting. I love the gun. So I went around and did I played one run, and because I randomly jumped on stream on Tuesday, I was like, I'm just going to start a stream on Tuesday. Why not? And I did a run with the gun and managed to get halfway. I got through the first 2. And I'm up to the 3rd now. And that's where I had to stop stream. So I made it through the first 2.
Gun's my favorite by far, especially when you get the Dionysus like on the bombs, where you basically just drunk bomb all the enemies, and then you hit them with, say, like an Aphrodite blast. And if you've got
I had Demeter's freeze
yep.
on the shot, just the standard shot, and then I had Dionysus's drunk on the bomb,
which is great when you have that upgrade that basically does extra damage when you have 2 status conditions on them. They just melts enemies.
Like, I was so ready to so I'm gonna go back and play that a little bit more. Yesterday I went back and jumped into Nobody Saves the World again with Mike, and I still freaking love this game. Like, we literally just spent the entire time running around doing dungeons, and we're like, okay, so what's our plan this time? Let's go through and level up every single character, and then we'll come back and we'll upgrade them and go through all of the stats and things like that, because you have to get all the upgrades at some point anyway. And we're just like, let's just do a few dungeons. So I think we smacked out like 3 different dungeons, and there was one dungeon we went into and it was like level 7 and we were level 15, and we're like, we can do this. Oh, we've got this. It's fine. We managed to get all the way through to the boss, and then we're like, maybe we don't. We tried a couple of times and we weren't beating the boss, and we're like, what the fuck are we doing wrong? And then Mike was like, no, we'll do it one more time. I've got a plan. We'll go and do it one more time. And we changed both to the bodybuilder, and we went back in and we just sat there and waited to survive until it finished, because it was the one. So Cameron, was the one with the wheels, the spiked wheels.
Yeah, that one's a pain in the ass.
Fuck. So we just rode it out. We just sat in there with our bodybuilders and waited until it was like, they're all gone. Okay, cool. We won. Yay.
Were you doing what me and Shane were doing? You're just like, look at me, I'm so buff.
Little bit, yeah.
Yes, they were a lot.
So most of it was just Mike going, look at my pecs move, and there was like, ha, Mike, look at my ass.
It was
jiggling.
He is grossly bulgy.
He's so bulgy, and his butt twitches and his pecs twitch, and you're just like, what the fuck?
That's great game.
I love the mermaid. That's my favorite. And I
not what a conventional mermaid looks like, but
no, but I love it. I love the fact that it's just like this ugly mermaid, and I'm like, I freaking love it. So I've been running around as the mermaid. Yeah. And I'm kind of like, I want to cosplay this mermaid now because, yeah, I love it. It's a great game. Again, I'm back on board with like Cameron now that I've actually started playing it. I'm like, everyone has to play this. Like, find a good co-op partner and just do it. Fucking amazing.
Best indie game that's come out all year.
Yeah, I really like it a lot.
I'm sure there'll be a few by the end of the year that challenge it, but at the moment.
Yeah. And we basically we got to a point where we were a little bit OP when we went into a couple of the dungeons, and they were real easy. So we're sort of like, okay, we'll challenge ourselves a little bit and just go into ones that we wouldn't necessarily think to go into. And we've now got like 60 something keys or whatever, and so we're going to go into the big one.
I was going to say, how far off are you of the big one?
Yeah, we're going to go do the big one like real soon because we're at level 20 now. So we're like, sweet, we'll go do it.
Message me after you get the next beat in the story. I want to hear your opinion.
Okay.
I know you're like really hating Yes Your Grace, so I might even swap Yes Your Grace conversation to Nobody Saves the World.
I reckon we should do a spoiler cast for Nobody Saves the World because I love that. It's great. She'll have lots to say about it too. Whereas you guys can do Nobody's. You guys can do a Yes Your Grace, and I'll just do Nobody Saves the World. I'm fine with this. I don't want to taint it.
Yeah.
Like, it is good.
I just want to talk about the story beats for Yes Your Grace. That's all I want to do.
We can do. I don't really have much to say about it, but sure.
Yeah. Because I just, for me, it just does it. It's not meshing with me. You know how sometimes just games just don't mesh with you? That's just how it is with me with that game. I love the artwork, and I do love the style of game. I just think it's too long for me, and it is too much concentration. I find it very difficult to sit with it. And then the last one we did is all three of us jumped into Human Fall Flat with Mike. Mike ran us through, and it was freaking awesome. Awesome.
Had a great time.
Yeah.
Quick, I was eating Portuguese snacks, and that was.
You were eating Portuguese snacks, yeah, because you had your spill of sauce.
And there's a 3-second delay every time I hit the jump button, as usual. So that was an interesting extra challenge.
Yes, yeah. That delay is a pain.
That bag of like the little cookies that taste like Macca's cookies with cinnamon on them, that did not last that night.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
No, I can't imagine it would have.
Good.
Yeah, and I didn't get many achievements this week, so 530 is my ending for this week, but I have plans once I get through Yes Your Grace. I have a couple of games that are sitting there that I want to get done for June, and I have I've got others that I started. Okay, so I did actually start Assault on Dragon's Keep.
Oh yes,
with
Wonderlands.
Wonderland. With Lee Howard from the Xbox cast and Michael KV, which is really cool. That's been a really fun experience with the three of us. We also are meant to have Kingsman in there, but he was asleep, and like we forgot. He said he didn't want to do the DLC, and we're like, oh, okay, well we'll wait and do Wonderland with him then. And he's like, no, I mean the DLC, not the one shot, not the actual standalone. Why would you do this without me? So I think
he was off seeing women. What is he?
He was having dates. It's fine.
He's fine.
So I think we're planning on jumping on that after this actually, which is cool. We're gonna try and jump on it once a week, I think. Once we've done Assault on Dragon's Keep, we're then gonna jump to Tiny Tina's Wonderland and do that all together because we've got a little group of 4, so that's cool. It's very cool. Yeah. It's quite nice, like having not played Borderlands. I've seen it played. I've seen other people play Borderlands, so I like the art style and I know a little bit, but I don't know much about the story. So I'm kind of enjoying it as a standalone. for just what it is, and I like the D&D side of things. Like, I think it's funny. The humor gets me. I love a good joke. So
one of my favorite side quests in all of video games is in that is where you're talking to Torg and accusing him of being a fake gamer guy. I won't spoil it, but it's so funny. It's so funny, and like it is kind of like, you know, social justice humor, sort of whatever. But like they're making a point, but it is still really, really hilarious. And Torg is one of the best characters in all of Borderlands.
I'm just thinking Borderlands 2 now. The shoot me in the face quest.
Yeah, well, there's that one, and then there's the other Torg one where you do his DLC and you have to kill like a bunch of enemies, and it, like, you know, in like gory ways, and then at the end he's like, "Yeah, this is gonna be the best radio ad ever." And you're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
It's interesting because, like, okay, so Lee was saying, because he's just up to the DLC in Borderlands, so he's doing the same thing but doing it separately. So he is trying to do the King's part on his own,
right,
as part of the DLC and whatever. And we just got up to that part. Like, we managed to get up to the Kings and beat them all in that run last Saturday. And already he was like, this is already past what I was able to do last time. So we had Michael, and Michael kept jumping in and jumping out, and like for some reason his internet was just terrible, and he just kept getting kicked from the game, which is really sucky. But when we finally did get him in, and we were just going through all of the Kings and defeating them all, we got to the last one, and he was like, I need to just drop out. I'm sort of done for the day. And we're like, okay, right. And then Manly were like, we can do this. We can do this. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. The scales, right? Like, we'll be okay. And I died a couple more times. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely was the one that was dying a lot, but we had a lot of money, so it was fine. It's fine. And yeah, we managed to beat it, and that's our savers literally just after that. So we can now move on with the story. At least we don't have to go back in and start from that point. We've passed that, so that's cool. Yeah. And I know that we have to do a couple, like this kind of 6 runs, kind of, with each character. Yeah,
because one of the problems I think with the standalone is they didn't modify the achievements to match the rest of the game, to match basically, you know, when it was just a DLC as part of the whole game. So it means you have to do a lot of runs of quite limited content, which is a bit of a letdown. But
yeah, so that's going to be a little bit of a pain, but that's fine. It is what it is. At least I'm with a group that will achievement hunt to get the completion, so that's solid. And I am actually very excited to start Wonderlands. Yeah, that'll be very good. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm sitting at.
Cool. All right. Do you want to pull up leaderboards and completions? Yeah.
Yep, I have it here. So our leaderboard had a little shuffle around because if people have been in our Discord, they will have seen that we have had a challenger who came in, you know, in the last week and was like, I'm going to get to the leaderboard top. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get to the top of that leaderboard for Hog.
He fucking did it.
He did it. He smashed it. Holy. Okay, so in third place, we have Mephisto for the win with 6,515. In second place, we have Red with 7,715. And in first place, we have now let me get this right, the Natolinator.
I think it's like Natolinator. I don't know. I've always said Natolinator.
Natolinator. Okay, he can correct us if it's incorrect.
Or is it? It might be Natalator. I don't know.
Natolinator.
Natolinator.
He's gonna love this. 19,595.
Oh my god, what is Valak's new profile picture? I just checked the leaderboards and what the hell is that?
I'll discuss it with you after the podcast.
Okay, that's crazy.
And yet it was still approved. Yeah, so that's our leaderboard for this week. For completions, we have Sir Neon Bleeder with Watch Dogs 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The Natolinator. The Nerd
This is fucking.
This every single time pronouncing his
I was
name
gonna say
out.
this is XLEX Jester all over.
Yeah, it is. Or Kruger with
Yeah,
K.
Kruger.
It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this
really
hard.
Should not.
The Nat.
The Nat, yeah. Let's just call him Nat.
Nat. Or he did Bunny Parking, Slayway Camp, Gang Beasts, and Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. After my recommendations, so thank you for that.
I'm getting him hooked on racing. Every single podcast from now on is going to be racing talk.
Oh no.
Okay, Matt B completed Viva Pinata Party Animals.
Matt B?
Mark B. Sorry, wait, Matt B. Mark B.
But like a bee that likes KFC?
Yeah, apparently. Viva Pinata Party Animals. Hey, you do a lot of fucking weird ass shit all the
KFC?
time.
I love KFC. Yeah, you're right.
Why are you attacking me right now?
KXRXUXEXEXR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kruger.
Yeah.
Completed
That's what she said, Kruger. Yeah.
I said it. Completed
Kruger versus the world. Yeah.
Yeah, Kruger versus the world. Red completed her story. Keo completed Terra. Chapter completed NFS Most Wanted Remastered.
What's NFS?
Need for Speed.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you.
I was gonna get there.
Just making sure.
Rapture with a lot of baby games again. We like to see it. It's fun. Baron von Neumann with a 2,000 day streak. Blows my 277
I'm jealous.
days.
Like Baron's like our version of Admiral in our server.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
basically.
I'm thinking about banning him. We'll see.
Shadowed Sly with Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Chin Doctor with The Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Oh, he's actually reclaimed his life back.
That's incredible. Well, no, he has, and now he's got another one. Yeah.
Except he started another one. And then my boyfriend Dio Valek got 100% on his bean dive. And he is on track to get 100% completion percentage, because he doesn't have any games on his tag currently that have unobtainables. So that's pretty cool.
Well, I'd hate to have unobtainables on my tag.
Oh, I wonder what that's like, having a game sitting there that has an achievement that can never pop.
Anyway, let's get into the community.
All right, fine.
Hey guys, so if you have, if you've probably heard, Sony is adding trophies to old PS1 games. So if Xbox followed suit and added achievements to original Xbox games, which games would you like to have with achievements, and which games would you not want achievements for? Thanks for taking my question. No problem, Isaac. I said this last week, but Burnout.
Yeah, we talked a little about the concept last week, but in terms of actual games, it would be really good. Yeah, Burnout would be great. I mean, I don't think there are any games I wouldn't want achievements for. Like, because again, we don't really like. I'm not playing Xbox One originals right now, right? And I think that if they had achievements and they all had achievements, like I don't have to play all of them, right? But
there is one though that I know that you would like to have achievements.
Which
Psychonauts.
one? I mean, yes, obviously. Yeah. I was going to say the Psychonauts is the obvious one. There's a bunch of the Star Wars ones, like Republic Commando and things like that, which are really, really good, or like Jedi Starfighter.
Is it Knights of the Old Republic?
Knights of the Republic, yeah, 1 and 2 would be amazing.
You know what I'd really like? The 007 games.
Oh yeah,
like Agent on Fire, From Russia Love, Nightfire. I played on GameCube. I really enjoyed Nightfire. Alias. Remember Alias, the ABC?
Oh my god. Yeah, well, no, I'm good. What was it? Yeah, Crimson Skies would be really good to have achievements.
Black.
Like there's so many of those kind of that era has so many great games that
Blood
would
Rain.
really benefit.
Blood Rain.
If you're a Patreon, that episode's out now. Go check it out.
It is indeed.
Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer would be a good one, I reckon.
No, it would not.
Why not?
Those games are terrible. Well, the licensed game stuff is something I don't want to. Is kind of like I don't know. It was kind of a weird period for that, but I'm trying to think of like Xbox stuff. I mean,
Constant.
Jade Empire.
Yeah, Jade Empire would be.
Jade Empire would be incredible. Again, like it's like the early BioWare stuff where they, basically when they could do no wrong would be great, because I love those games so much as a kid. Like that partly informed kind of my real love for those sort of Western RPGs. And I know that's sacrilege because, Western RPGs are usually things like Baldur's Gate and CRPGs, but yeah, Western action RPGs, we'll say.
Ed and Eddie, the Misadventures.
Why are you picking all these trash titles? There's so many good games on the original Xbox.
That's what I think of like the PS2 era.
Oh my god.
And that's the only games we have now.
Yeah, I was going to say, just like fucking, just more like...
Okay. Shut up if you disagree with this. Futurama.
I never played it, so...
Futurama was really good.
I'm sure it was fine, but... Just
Simpsons Hit and Run, was that Xbox?
Simpsons Hit and Run, I hear, is like, actually, I know the game is good, but yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
But to be fair, I was a PlayStation 2 person, so I played a lot of the Xbox.
Yeah, so was I. I had the GameCube before I had the PS2.
Right, yeah.
I would love GameCube achievement.
I had both the benefits of having divorced parents. I managed to convince one of them to get me a PlayStation and one of them to get me a GameCube.
Yeah.
It worked out real well for Wii. Not so much for their marriage, but whatever. Manhunt would be like, oof.
I feel like that's a game that would have a hard list.
It would have a Rockstar list, so that would be interesting. There are so many games I have to go back to.
Back on the theme: Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2.
Yeah,
just give me Underground 1 and 2. Right. Every single week now it's going to be like, EA, can make it happen. Fucking do, like, even if you just skip straight to Underground 2, happy. Or just do a bundle. Do a bundle. Do both games remastered.
Yeah, they do they do. I think they'd give it the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 sort of treatment. I think it's probably.
I mean, it's EA. I the only reason I say no to that is because it's EA and they'll try and bang like.
Oh yeah, well they'll lock half the game away behind microtransactions anyway. But there's so much like nostalgia and stuff in there that would really benefit from. Like again, the thing is with that stuff is you don't even have to change the game. Like you just have to add achievements into it. You don't have to do a remaster or up-res it or whatever. But
RoboCop.
I mean,
if Adrian's still here, Shrek 2, Shrek Super Party, Shrek Super Slam.
No, why do you have such fucking trash taste? Oh my fucking god!
It's nostalgia for me. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, Spider-Man is like the one exception. That Spider-Man 2 is pretty good.
Still Battalion. Do it with the original controller.
No, God, no. That would be rough. Yeah, I mean, you could do like Mech Warrior. Actually, is a good point.
Yeah,
right? Or Mech Assault.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All those.
I think we're just listing off cool Xbox games that we played as kids. Like that's just.
I never played any of these, but I would totally. Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Oh, I love the Underground games of Tony Hawk.
They're okay. I mean, Pro Skater is where it begins.
I mean, it's probably that age level where you're dealing like BAM and all that, and everything's stupid and essentially jackass.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it was.
And then Tony just skates them by and just like, no, we have to be.
Yeah. Buy this ride peripheral.
I mean, it's a fucking, when you get it to work, it's a fucking cool peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
You can even play Street Fighter with it.
But yeah, Isaac, I hope that answers the question. There's so much that, like, again, like I would love achievements for all the games and then just have a great, because again, that would expand my library so much for old stuff that I'd love to have a good reason to go back to.
Yeah.
I think Isaac spoils us so often. We need to ask a question to Isaac.
I mean, I know everything about Isaac, so I don't know what I'd ask him.
Isaac,
that's fine.
Isaac, your question of the week is Tony Hawk Underground 2 or Need for Speed Underground 2? Which one?
No, I mean, I think he's about the age where he would have played both of them. So
yeah, I think he would be too.
Go.
All right.
Shout outs and
that's a general audience question too.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, tell us in the Discord.
Okay, so getting towards the end of the show, we've got the word challenge. If you don't know what the word challenge is, basically it's a Discord challenge where you go and guess the name of a game that I've come up with a GIF. In the word challenge part of the Discord, there's a channel for it. If you guess the game right, you win $20. Simple as that. Every week I give away a clue. The clues thus far have been that it is part of a series, that it has at least one discontinued achievement. And the new clue is the series has 3 or more games in it. So it is a larger series. It's not just a, like a, one and done or a two and done and they, never heard from them ever again. This game has at least 3 games in the series.
Join us next week when we hear Shadowless Edge has played this game series, and that does not help at all.
No, yeah. Again, I was going to give a better clue, but I think my 4th clue is going to be where I really narrow it down if no one gets it. But some good guesses in the channel. But I want to encourage some people to maybe reach in there maybe go a little deeper, a little bit more. All right, Cameron, do you want to talk about the Patreon?
Yep. So Patreon's a thing that we do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so ready for this, aren't I? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It is. So we do a show called Lights, Camera, and Action, which is another podcast for our patrons as an exclusive. Basically, Cameron, Charlotte, and I, we go and watch a video game movie. We talk a bit about it beforehand, go away and watch it, and then record like 2 months later, usually the second part where we've forgotten about what we talked about in the first part. It's just kind of a bit of fun. It's relatively low production value. It's the kind of place where I get to use licensed music without getting sued because I don't put it out anywhere. And no one listens to it. Well, actually, that's not true. I know one person listens to it.
We have someone listening to it now, so we actually have to, like try a little bit.
I think Patreon's actually just not telling us the right stats.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. But we did get a very nice message from one of our patrons. I don't know if they want to be called out or whatever, but so I won't. But no, we really appreciate the support and the messaging. We literally could not do the show without you guys. The money goes straight back into paying for Zoom costs, paying for equipment, paying for hosting the podcast itself, all that kind of stuff. So we really, really appreciate it. And now that Cameron, I vamped for long enough for Cameron to get the list up, he's going to read out a list of Patrons, isn't he?
Yep. So we have the Nanolator?
And an enemy.
And then I was like 2 seconds off making that joke myself. Anyway, Firehawk, Mad Lefty, G Spaceman, Admiral Awesome, Odrin, Keo, Cobra Todd, Heavy Moogle, Kung Fu Skills, Hawkeye, Hawkeye Barry, Hack and Pone, Cavalier 07, Old Mate Clown, Mark B, and Mick Lovett Legend. You, the show would not run. Really appreciate it. And
we do.
That's been the highest amount of patrons we've had for a while. We've got like 16 now. Good.
Yeah.
Get us to like 20 or something, and I'll do like some special kind of event and rope these two in.
Yep.
What else is new?
I'm probably gonna. I hadn't told you two yet too, but when me and Alex go to FanFest, probably gonna do like a special for just breaking down our experience.
That's cool.
I haven't even asked him yet, so we'll see.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. It's fine. It's just spitball live on stream, Cameron. That's a great idea.
This is how I always do.
Now, do you want to talk about the contest as well?
Yeah. So the contest, if it hasn't changed, homepage right now, is when we essentially get the community to vote for. I pick like 4 cool indie games that haven't hit Game Pass that you might want a chance to win. Why is the post not coming up? Where's Patreon moving everything? Anyway, sorry. So essentially Patreon draw is where I pick 4 games as a community. We essentially vote for the prize for that month. Out of the entries this month, we had Best Month Ever, The Serpent Rogue, Anacard, and Orbit Industries. Best Month Ever is still winning with 4 votes because everybody loves nudity in their video games. Even if it has unobtainables, like I've said, for like 3 weeks now. But
I guess people don't care.
No accounting for taste, I suppose.
I didn't even say if it was male or female nudity, and they still voted.
Look, everyone's a pansexual these days, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, so that will probably get drawn next week.
Yeah.
Just go into Stevens and start rubbing things. That's actually that's a very niche New Zealand joke. So
it is like people have to be from New Zealand to actually know what Stevens is.
Just the fact that I imagine it's a resale store, and you still said that sentence.
Yeah, no, it's a
kitchen store.
It's a kitchen store, so pansexual. Yeah,
it sells pots and pans.
It's a joke, Cameron. It's a joke.
Do I want to say
being sexually aroused by home appliances?
All right, seeing that I've had I've interviewed somebody before that's worked at a sex store where somebody has come in and tested the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it's non-stick.
Let's just say one of the highlights. To find
a clip somewhere.
Let's just say one of the highlights in life shouldn't be you on footage in a sex toy trying the merchant. Or from
No.
Rose. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
I fucking hope they did. All right. If you want to come find us, we're on Discord, discord.io/Hall of Gamers. This is a place to come hang out with us in our community. No weirdos. No, it's not true.
We put them all in the achievement collective.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We have a containment Discord for that, so don't worry about it. We've also got our Twitch, as we mentioned at the top of the show. Hall of Gamers Pod is a place to find us. You can come talk to us about what you're doing, talk about the show, ask questions, put memes in the chat, say Freebird, that kind of thing. No.
Why not?
No, the DMCA. And if you want to contact us in other ways, we've got an email, hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com, or we're at hallofgamerspod on Twitter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, help us out in other ways. Leave us a review, talk about the show. Word of mouth is always huge for us. We really appreciate all.
Join our Patreon.
Yeah, give us some money. Actually, seriously, just fucking open your damn wallets. What?
Just share us in cash. We're fine with this.
Yeah, come on, fucking make it
This
rain.
is why I lose 2 patrons at the start of every month and then go back on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they know what it's about. They know what it's about. Got to tease them with that good content. It'll never come, but we'll keep teasing. All right, Charlotte, if people want to find you, what are you going to shill?
My link tree as usual, which is just AudreyChar. I'm on Twitter, which is AudreyChar, I believe, or AudreyChar, which is my Xbox. If you do any combination of those, you'll find me on Discord. I am the Char with many names.
Fitting.
That's impossible to keep up.
Cameron?
I haven't changed it since.
Speaking of brands.
You can catch me on Shadowless Edge on pretty much every platform, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, OTA or Xbox. And yeah, I'm just chilling out, playing behind the scenes games every week. And probably just going to get into racing. And everybody needs this. We're going to have 6 months now, me talking about Need for Speed.
All right, well, that's... and if you want to find me, I'm on Neomaster on pretty much everything. True Achievements, Xbox, and Discord.
1S, not 2.
Yeah, yes, 1S. Thank you. Yeah, no. That's my... No, actually, I can't say that.
Neomaster, not Neomaster.
No, exactly, yeah.
What was the third one now, isn't there?
I don't fucking look. There's so many pretenders to the throne, mate. It's it's gonna happen. But yeah,
I'm the real Neo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Spartacus. All right. If you want to find, you've completely fucking thrown me off.
If you want to find us,
you know what?
No, we've done that.
That's the show. Goodbye.
Yeah,
everyone.
I was gonna say thank you to my guests, for joining us. No, great job, guys. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to our watchers and listeners. We do really, really appreciate you. And that's the end of episode 39. We will catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Bye.
Ciao.